data we collected focus on what we see as some of the separations, some of the gaps and gaps. We know where there are some potential solutions. As I walk around town, that's all I realize, communication.
And it's like walking in one day.
So intros or music, what do you do?
Stu Brown, Recreation Manager, Public Information Officer for the town.
Don't understand why that, like, even people at town records.
Hi, I'm Betsy Truax. I chair the Recreation Commission for the town, but I'm also a blogger for Mammoth Lakes
There's so
Recreation.
much confusion going on. Sure. And I think also, you know, related is the doors, you know, US lines from other cities. And they're gonna be wide, they're not gonna fall out every day. So they're gonna be poaching stuff, they just think they're allowed, right? And there's no
Thank you.
communication. I mean, the local leadership say, you know, we have to supply very short. This recreational. I mean, we're a food entity, and we're.
And your pickleball champion.
And-
Welcome to the world.
And the best thing about that, like,
And who else, sir?
My name is John Woodworth, Town Council, Town of Mammoth Lakes.
Very good. Okay, a couple quick slides.
right.
What do you got? This is the process we're going through with all our tracking. We did some stakeholder meetings, collect some information which we'll share and collected thus far. We will engage in this process today, kind of fill in some of the blanks. We'll go back to our stakeholder meetings next, as the next part of this, to say these are some potential options and solutions. We'll take that to our debrief group over the next couple of weeks, synthesize, analyze that data, and come back and look at the presentation. A little bit focuses on communication right now. It's interesting to me that everybody's got their own little silo of information. How do we, what's the challenge? How do we make that
You
happen?
know, and then we go out and ride. And as soon as it starts grooving, we have to put by that.
Okay, so this is really the overview. Provide people with the opportunity to review collection information and how we communicate about winter recreation. It's not just winter recreation, just general communication. And we identify some threads and strategy, gaps, next steps, providing reliable information to both residents and visitors. So that's kind of the goal of today. Make sense? Okay?
You know,
So with that,
we've
I'm
gotten different answers.
going to give you a little nightstand reading here. It was probably a month or so ago, and all of a sudden,
But they will.
I was reading the newspaper and I saw this article. We started talking about it, okay, communication information. So I use this as a base to kind of get ourselves off. So why don't you take a minute just to
I mean, I
review
read
that.
it as
Where did it come from?
specifically.
This is another one. Okay. I didn't read that.
In my mind, I haven't thought about really going there and saying, listen, you say specifically for snowmobile use, so what about the trails room for rovers? I'm personally big picture thinker. I don't want to fight for a small little network of specifically Nordic trails. I think the amendment needs something for the whole course or the leader and then group snowmobile. So that's kind of why I'm taking too much issue with that. The main thing is, yeah, it's interpreted differently. I know if you talk to, you said the young mountains doing stuff, they have people out there riding bikes today. And,
Because it's their land, though.
I'm not gonna, I don't think I'm gonna get it. Especially
On
these
numerous occasions, because I asked him at the night lights, which is one of my events, I asked him how they got, I'm like, well, how do you guys do it, right? And he told me they have special permits when they get, they do the exact special.
That kind of started my interest in, okay, what does this look like, what does it taste like? So we go to the next page, simple little working template. Let's talk a little bit, what is the history of communications? And I talk to people. I've heard people talk for probably over the last 10 years, I started trying to put together a common communication plan. It was a commonplace for us, for whatever reason, it never came together. So I'm interested in capturing some of the history. What had the plan been in the past, what were some of the challenges, and then you go further on this
Tell me
document.
what your vision is.
So we can see the information we've collected. So I went through a number of stakeholders, there were 22 to start with. And who the stakeholder was, what the communication channel is. The sheriff, some of the police stations, visitation, web posting, social media, public service announcements. But you see the wide range of people in terms of stakeholders that share information. Same thing with the second side of this. It's got a wide range of information they share. There is really no common place. The question really is, do we need a common place? Is there a community calendar? So I'd really like to start out with, go back to your template with question number 1. Who can tell us a little bit about the history? What has been done in the past? What have been some of the challenges? Kind of start with some of that. Kirsten's going to be our collector of information. So as we speak, she'll collect. So let's start us out here. Okay, Just
Real quick, because I think it's very, it's ironic, but I think that this first article is very interesting. This is an article, it was an editorial written in a local newspaper that could not be more factually incorrect. And this, if you read through this, you would think that the thing that she's looking for does not exist, when in fact the thing she's looking for very much exists. It's a problem with our communication structure. We have 2 local newspapers, but I don't know if they do a good job serving the community in the context of the communication. The web platform that she's looking for was, many people feel was, people say it was very expensive. It's a very thorough, partnered effort with the town foresters, but it provides all the recreation information that she was looking for. So I think it's an important place to start, is where people are getting information from our local newspapers. And I would say also that the newspapers do not have a good online presence. The New York Times doesn't have any online presence at all. Maybe a business model. That an online presence for newspaper may not compete with their sales for the newspapers. Hard to know. The Sheet has somewhat of an online presence, but it's not reliably updated. So I think as part of the communication challenges, to look at what role is the traditional media playing in communications. What do we do when they print things that are fundamentally inaccurate and untrue?
Which is the argument.
I mean, what is the role in terms of having a communication strategy to hold the components of the communication strategy accountable for what they're saying, so that good and reliable information is. I would also note that the web platform that provides us information is not listed in the whole. I would make sure you want to have that, because that's
You guys sit at the table, man. Circle up.
Front and center, buddy.
So that's a critical piece to have here. And the challenges of web-based, we have huge opportunities with web-based information. But we have challenges making a transition from analog, pre-web, to the electronic kind of a world to get into that game. But then the question is, manage it, definitive sources of communications would be great.
The question there was, I think, potentially, was the role that traditional media play in disseminating information throughout the community, and how how organisations or events or activities pass on that communication to traditional media outlets and so forth, right, to make sure it's factually printed, displayed, whatever.
Well, I think it gets to, so if somebody...
We were just talking about that Mammoth Lakes article that Wendy wrote, like, trails. Yeah, it was kind of the reference to, it was kind of the reference to Mammoth Trails, but all, it wasn't factual in regards to.
Oh, it's highly inaccurate, but I think that as part of a communication strategy, you understand that the newspaper has the constitutional right to do whatever it wants to do.
Okay, so take me back, right? Trying to look at, give me a historical perspective. Had there been conversations in this community in the past about one central place to gather, collect, and distribute? Yes, no?
Yeah,
There's never been. If I do my calendar of events, I'm drawing from like 12 sources. I actually give a damn about it. I'm literally on all 12 different sites getting information. The least valuable sites, I was looking at all those sites you gave me, the least valuable sites to me are Mammoth Mountain and Visit Mammoth. By far the worst. They have nothing, because they're all we do a great job of covering the suburban experience. If you want a suburban experience, Mammoth Mountain and Visit Mammoth has it covered. If you want anything else related to, like, I want to take my 5-year-old camping and I want to not hike more than a half mile into some sort of camp spot. Where do I go? And from there, you're like, I might as well throw a dart, you know, down Old Mammoth Road and hope I hit something.
That's a great question.
So I mean, the big thing is trying to figure out how suburban's covered, but the in-between and the backcountry experience. Backcountry guys are probably just going to go into like an outdoor gear shop or whatever and ask around and get their information. It's that middle swath that we don't know how to cover. And of all those sites on that you showed, Mammoth Trails is a great site, and Eastern Sierra Interpretive Association is a great site. All the other sites, no one's going to go to the town of Mammoth Lakes website to look for what we're talking about. No one's going to go to City of Bishop. No one's going to go to Mono County. They look, they see a governmental website, their eyes glaze over. They don't want to look through that crap and they leave. So I mean, I was thinking you almost need some sort of, I know this is just one more layer, but some sort of new site that you promote the hell out of. It's like whatever, it's EasternSierraOutdoors.com or MammothOutdoors.com, whatever it is. And then literally under that umbrella you have, hey, you want to go to trails, click on this and it gives you the trail site. You want to go do interpretive stuff, you click on the Eastern Sierra thing, Interpretive Association. So, I mean, that's what I'd like to do, some sort of portal, and a portal whereby, not to disparage, but any media person can go on there literally for their calendar events. They copy, they paste, they slap in, and it's done. Because otherwise, you know, yeah, I fish around for that stuff way too much, and then every time I have a new staffer, I've got to tell them where to go.
Give them a list.
And even with your stuff, like with Stu's stuff, he'll send in his Stu's news. I'll be like, oh, I got to scroll through another. Well, of course, I know the last 7 pages is the same.
Well, it's just the
but I'm
first page,
scrolling
right?
through Stu's stuff, like, okay, what do I think is interesting, right? And I'm going down and down and
Well,
down.
it's really just that one page, right? So that email page that you should get, that's really kind of the summary of that whole document.
Yeah.
So you should just read 3 or 4 paragraphs. But yeah, try that.
Okay, so I'm going to go to
Let's
Mary.
make it easy.
Some background.
I would like to have one,
Okay.
and we appreciate very much the announcements you put in.
Well, because you put it on a platter for me, that's why it's so easy, right? All the organizations put it on a platter.
So, but to that point, how do they get their information to you?
Just emails.
Emails. They send an email, this goes to the role of the various institutions. You want a press release, you want raw information, you get it to the local newspaper, you serve it to them on a platter, the information is reliable.
Correct.
Served.
The better the platter, the more likely the information will
Gary
be.
sends it to me too, so I get it.
Right.
That
Well,
goes,
we have a.
that goes in town news, so I get, but it comes from your
Yes,
organization.
it comes from your organization.
We get Sierra Club, we get Friends of the Inyo.
Yes.
Yeah, they do a good
I would
job.
just like to interject in here. We have been having conversations with Jonathan Silva at ECF, and they are making an effort to do a calendar, but.
They're terrific. They're terrific. Their stuff you
And
can
they,
easily grab.
they are trying to consult to get the different outings, people, outings organizations to maybe consolidate.
Here's the drawback to them. Eastern Sierra Interpretive Association, and just the name it alone
Clunky.
kills them, because I'm like, I don't want to visit an interpretive association to figure out where I want to go hiking on Saturday. So, in other words, they automatically need some other name. It'll never work.
Betsy, what do you think of Betsy?
Well, I think we're talking about a couple different things, because I think we're talking about, you know, the events, you know, based, you know, things going on in the community, things going on with your outings, that kind of thing. We're also talking about, you know, getting up-to-date trail conditions, which is very hard. I mean, MammothTrails.org is a great website, but, you know, trail conditions can change really rapidly, especially the last couple of winters. So it's tough to keep that really consistent. And, you know, in one of these articles, she talks about how nobody wants to, you know, go in to visit Mammoth. But, you know, when I blog for MLT, you know, I often tell people to call, you know, to pick up the phone and call, because that's probably the best place to actually get on the ground information. And, you know, Ted, you and I can argue about this later, but I do think that the new Visit Mammoth website will be a significant improvement.
I hope so. I really hope so, because it's
So
horrible.
there's
I've been working.
a couple things just to parse that out.
Because it's a managed service.
And the other thing too is you're right there, you're saying, I want people to pick up the phone. It's precisely the thing that people aren't doing less of these days. So we want something that doesn't require them to pick up the phone. We want some aggregate site. I think Visit Mammoth has a definite purpose for promoting the suburban experience, but Visit Mammoth should not be the place where people are going for their everyday.
It can be.
So that all gets back to the consumption of data and the creation of data. So a couple of things you said there, so trails conditions are very important. At this point, no, they are, but we're now entirely reliant upon the Forest Service. Because the Forest Service has insisted through the Mammoth Trails Network that they want to be the provider of that information. So there's a gap. These are the things that we have to look at and say, okay, we have to address this, right? The second thing is this issue about the phone is some places will say, we want you to call it, you can call it. The Forest Service Visitor Center do not think about calling them. But to your point about an aggregating website that tells people, if we can take an inventory of where the information sources are, people will say, you want to talk to someone on a telephone? Okay, you need to call here. To be able to do that kind of story that we're talking about, because there are some people that, I get calls in my apartment from people that get the phone number off of the Mammoth Trails with, this time I get the information and say, hey, I need a wilderness permit, I want to go blah, 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 who do I talk to? I say, well, I will try to help you out. I don't go to the Forest Service because there is nothing coming out of them, but I can send them to you, maybe someone. But for us to understand what those things are and how to direct people, I think you're hitting on the key thing, which is that it's like the concierge of the information. It's the capacity that's doing an ongoing testing of who's got good information.
The question's always going to be, where's that live? Right, we've all tried, because Visit Mammoth, when Ellen was there, actually she did a bang-up job, I thought, of, collating that information, getting it out.
Awesome.
She chased everybody down, right, so she'd actually call all those different organisations, collate it, post it, and so forth. And Parks and Rec actually were into that page too, so it was on the town page, we created that little portal. But again, as Ted said, is it intuitive for people to actually go to a jurisdictional website, town have place to try and find information? And we're only one portion of that, right? We only have kind of programs, a few amenities here and there and facilities that kind of didn't work. I don't know, everyone's kind of had a so that will still come down to who wants to manage it, who owns it, who's responsible for it.
The number of people that respond to our data collection, it's got their own vehicle, their own silo of sharing information. But it's very specific to programs. Dan, what are the conversations been like in the town since you've been here about communication plans? The role of chamber perhaps in some of the stuff, if any at all?
There hasn't been a lot of general discussion. There's a whole lot of platforms out there. Different people do different things. In my experience in other agencies, it never is. People have their own focus. Some will talk to each other and even if it does, it's going to be, well, then I want you to take all of my stuff. So it's kind of I like when there's always that same conversation. Where's that calm? That's why you get I don't know if anybody's practiced it well. Getting better at different levels. But if I'm looking for a trail, I
Quite honestly, you would be the logical place for Mammoth Lakes Recreation. We wouldn't go to Visit Mammoth or Chamber because you instinctively don't want to be sold anything, or you're just trying to find activities, right? So you want something that does not reference, which is hard for this town, because all this town wants to do is like run it as a business and monetize. And these are, I don't think these folks who are going out to do these activities want to be monetized. They just want to go do their thing.
Yeah, where do I look?
I can be monetized later.
Well, the same thing with list of activities. Who knows how to do it? Then you have to pull up and down. Everything from like garage sale to
What goes on, what doesn't. Who's the aggregator? Who's the supervisor? What criteria?
We're talking about reliable information. What kind of information would be on this?
Like trail. Am I gonna get halfway up this trail and suddenly I'm in sneakers and then I'm driving through a foot of snow?
And I need to snowshoe programs, educational events, tourism.
As a line with recreation.
Well, yeah, if the whole thing last time we had to run
There should be an arts component into that whole thing. Who's going to show this week or till
But is that relative to recreation or you just? 'Cause I mean,
I think it's part of the whole thing. I'm saying anyone getting past like mountain related stuff, like I think there should be a catch-all for everybody.
special events.
Well, the good news about this stuff is.
Yeah, okay, all
Maybe
right.
start just pushing.
Tell me more.
Yeah, right, so that was kind of where Visit Mammoth was, I thought, in a way, because they basically manage those larger special events, so if you're thinking
That would
about
seem
coming
to be a Visit Mammoth thing.
you can go to Visit Mammoth, hey, this weekend is Blues and Blues up, big, huge, I mean, that's kind of, you know, visitor
I call it
generated.
blues, yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the same place.
Right, so I think there's some type of differentiation, as opposed to, like Easter egg, like Labor Day. That's probably not-
That should go here, but
Would that go here?
I think it would go here.
You got that community event.
The good news about all this stuff is
So
that
is it internal, external?
you can do all this stuff on paper. You don't have to literally start redirecting websites and doing all that kind of stuff. You can sit down and figure this stuff out on paper and then implement it. And that's a key task that this has to be taken. It goes to a very realistic and reliable inventory of what the faculty does, figuring out where the gaps are. This is doable. It's not something.
It's just research.
Well, no, but I would argue, I understand, before you get to that, on paper, this group can sit here and look at the various capacities we've got and figure it out on paper before we have to. And that first step has never taken place. It's always a discussion of, oh, we gotta get MLT tied into the town's websites. And it's like, yeah, that's gonna take a lot of work and research. Just to sit down on paper with the representatives of the information sources and start drawing it out and do a couple of iterations of it to figure out what it looks like. You can get a very long way down the road just doing it like that without having to get into it directly and doing all the actual work you have to do into it. You can do a lot of work without, you can make an enormous amount of progress without having, before you get to the implementation stage. To make a differentiation between who's got what resources and who's doing what. Because the first thing is go ask someone, what are you doing? Who is your audience? What are you trying to get done? Then start putting these things together and figure out how to.
Which is some of the data collection we've got right now.
Yeah, that's the.
So if we create something, what would the outcome look like? We could go over some methodology.
So yesterday I went to pick up the keys for the guys that are sitting at Snow Creek. And at the Snow Creek desk, and this is not a knock on Snow Creek, not a knock at all, but nothing about anything that was going on in town. And I just asked, I said, so what's going on in town? And she pulled up on her website a calendar that she was able to print that had a few things on it. Not everything that I was fully aware of, but there were some things on there that I wasn't aware of either. So in my ideal world,
Where'd she print the calendar?
her website, I don't know what she accessed, but I don't know if something that they put together or something, what, I don't know what it was because I was up here at the counter and she was down here with this print and pulled it out. I should have asked, but I just didn't. But in my perfect world, that counter, when I got in, would be able to tell me right away, right here, here's what's going on in town, welcome. Here's where you can access information, here's what's going on, here's who's doing what.
Like when you check in at the hotel, they say, the Goldstein bar mitzvahs in room 1 and the this weddings in room 2 and whatnot.
Yeah, because we spent a lot of time talking about all the animation side of things. I was trying to tell somebody last night what we were competing against last night, but I couldn't quite remember all of them. I know that there was something as a high school, musical, and
That's 395, competing with
that's
that.
right, Chicago was going on. There was Elevation in the weekend, right? So there were some things, but there were some things I didn't. But it's like, we know that there's animation out there. We know that when particularly our visitors want to show up, they're looking to connect with the community. They're looking to see what's out there. I would just like to see something that everybody in town that has a front-facing position with the public has here's what's going on that you might be interested in. And here's some information about how to order tickets, what time the thing starts, how to sign up for it.
That's more of a community calendar.
It's not even a community calendar,
That's
it's
much
a,
broader than us talking about recreation. Are we considering those recreation activities?
I don't think you can separate it, because the visitor doesn't. If the visitor does not want to say, I only want to know about this, because they just don't. Because in their group of people,
They want to see the menu of options.
some options, because Junior back here, maybe doesn't really care about anything until he sees that his favorite band is playing or something. And that's like, it's tough to be comprehensive, but I don't think we can separate, because now we're gonna ask the visitor to go find another source for all of that.
But the fly in the ointment is, Bishop is so easy to navigate, because you go to whatever, bishopvisitor.com, and it has all the stuff listed, right? The difference here is that you've got Mammoth Mountain, which is this huge, almost like it's like it's a planet with its own gravitational field, which seems to suck so much shit in that all this stuff on the side gets lost. I mean, how do
But
you?
our front community, our front line, our front desk, Snow Creek has interest in what's going on in the community, not necessarily a shadow.
But in other words, yeah, and even Visit Mammoth is so aligned with the mountain's gravitational field. It's not an independent place where I'm going to find independent stuff. So then I've got to go, there's got to be we have to find our own planet here and figure out where the community stuff is.
Well, it's tough too, because I think, the average visitor, especially if they're coming here in the winter, they're not gonna differentiate between, mammothmountain.com, visitor.
Correct.
I mean, to them, mammothmountain.com is kind of it. I mean, that's,
Because that's what for that.
But it gives them such a half a picture of what's really going on.
it does, absolutely.
And then there,
I would have that you want to focus in terms of the local community just as much as the visitors.
because I mean, there's navigation, the Mammoth site is what it is. We look at it just from a website perspective, but navigation that side is clumsy, hard to use, and there's all these basic issues of how these systems and these platforms work that provides an open door to better information. It provides a way to say this, again, if you go to the table, you can draft it up and say, okay, ski area, what information are you going to provide? You provide that well. What information that we get the town's going to provide? You provide that well. And then look at a master aggregator, a master concierge, that everybody understands what their role is in this stuff, and then you go with a single source, and you can just, you want this here, this here, this here. It's doable.
Do we agree with that concept?
Well, the concept is to line it out.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
is it
Create a flow
actually,
chart.
is it actually doable out there?
Yeah. So do the flow chart that you have.
Yeah, do the flow chart
I
first.
think it'd be really hard for us. Just from what, I mean, you just look up right now, I'm just on my phone.
We do.
I
I think the sheet does about as good a job as you can in terms of the comprehensiveness,
Yeah.
because we work our ass off. It's still, it's not the online, you want that online presence as well.
Yeah, and honestly, it really goes back to this thing, being on this, organizing what the information is. I mean, just breaking it down into a common set of categories that people can share across the platforms, and then you can start, that's how you start.
So I think there's two distinctions here. So one, we talked originally about just like the kind of have redirecting links for different organizations to Well, the other part, which I think is where Dan was going, which is what we want to do, is actually have to have something come in and actually pull that information in and put it in the account. Which is what we were before. Super intensive. If one person had to own that,
Literally.
Well,
we've been there and done that. So I'm just thinking, because one portal with a link, we've done that, it just doesn't work, because I'm going to get you a link, I'm going to send someone into that page, and they're going to hustle through that website to try and find that page, and that's, so,
But I don't think you can get away from that. Eventually, all this technology aside, eventually someone's got to do the work.
That's right.
Someone's got to
Pull the information out. We all do it into this box, the calendar. And then what's the calendar?
But to make that a lot easier, is if you do this work in advance, you kind of lay out how the stuff is organized, so that all the outside platforms do a basic amount of organization the way that you organize your paper. This is on page 5, we find this kind of information. If all the platforms at least start with a semblance of, calling apples apples and oranges oranges, using common kind of semantic terms of organization, then the person that's aggregating this stuff, that job just got a whole lot easier. Because then at least the data that's informing all this stuff is organized in some kind of basic way to get started. That would be so if the Mammoth Trail, if the MLT site is organized by entertainment, local things, community things, basic common terms, that categories, the semantics are established. The town uses those same semantics. The ski area, to the degree which we're going to push them into it, they start using those same creative terms. The newspapers, if they want to pick it up, they're using this basic level of categorization. That's a huge step in terms of aggregating data to get to something that you can actually believe in one place. Those are the kinds of steps you can take so that the aggregator isn't having to pull nectarines and lemons and wombats and try to get it into something that makes sense. It's like, that's a pretty possible task.
So you're describing exactly what I do every week.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
Exactly.
what I'm saying, it's not, it sounds great, John. It really sounds great, but it's
very difficult. Very difficult, because you probably still relying upon actually.
I just don't think.
You have to rely upon people to send you the information, which I think just doesn't happen sometimes. Right?
Well,
Actually,
there's somebody to go pull it.
Yeah, well, how much time you spend pulling information
Right.
starts to do that.
Friday, 10 years. 2 hours.
That's, and
Was
it's clearly.
sometime ago, you guys talked about a previous concept.
We actually had
With having tourism-
visitmammoth.com
Yeah.
actually was the host for the calendar. And we had a person, 8 hours a day.
And that was a great site and formerly usable. And it's no longer
8
usable.
hours a day that would literally cultivate, and we also though set it up to allow the organizer to put in their information, and then all we had to do was filter it, make sure it was okay, hit the okay button, and boom, it was uploaded. So there was kind of a shared responsibility. If you wanted it on the site, you provided the information as the organizer, and we just hit the button and said okay. And then, on top of that, we, kind of cultivated and fished around to see what else was out there.
I think that's been the best one, I think, today.
How long was that
After
system?
that.
How long was that system in place for?
Well,
Dan,
when
4 or
I,
5 years maybe?
Till Dan.
Until we split, right,
till we split.
until it
Yeah.
split, so it's
So
probably
when I-
4 or 5
It was
years.
at least, well, and even when I got here, Alan
it was running?
it was kind of running, but we fine tuned it and made it a little more comprehensive.
Got a new website provider and so forth. Did it work?
It worked because it became a source. I mean, it just did become a source, and we were pretty good about letting the public know this is a source. What we kind of arm wrestled about was, did we put the Rotary Club noon thing on there? Is that?
What went on, what didn't.
We kind of, yeah, we put the Rotary,
Poker tournament.
poker tournament on there, yeah, but the Rotary noon.
Look, I don't even do that.
Yeah.
I don't do
So
that.
we almost, we almost a little bit about, like that, but in the end, I think it was a source that people could rely upon and could turn to, and.
So that's where kind of Jews News Town News evolved from
That's
too, right? It was a
exactly
way to
right.
kind of push that information out,
Right.
draw people back and say, hey, here's your calendar of events. This is where everything is, boom, so we had that.
So Mary, are you familiar with the source, Mary?
No, I'm not. I searched on the website primarily for Nordic skiing, and there's an old website that pops up. And that is one of the things I think, maybe some of these websites should be updated or gotten rid of. Because it gets a little bit confusing because they're disseminating old information.
This was no longer running that well. So
Yeah.
it's old and it's no longer doing it. Now it's a full-time body basically committed.
On that.
On the visit.
On the video, but I was going to turn to the Trails website in a second. My apologies for being late. But did you talk about the new component that's being added to the Mammoth Trails website that allows for some instant communication or some instant announcements and things that you're working on with Joel?
Yeah, so-
So to kind of, I think, address what you're talking about a little bit, some current and updated information, hey, this trail was groomed, or this trail wasn't groomed, or because of no snow, this place isn't accessible anymore, go here. I think this new little widget that's being added to the Trail System website may help some of that information.
But I think the level, the questions about, is the level of sophistication that's got to be at play with the people who are doing this work. because anybody can have a bad website. And you can have a bad website that says, hey, I'm giving you the best information about Nordic skiing.
It's just
And it's the-
old.
Well, so that junk, for lack of a better term, that's gonna be out there. But the challenge to the community is to say, we understand what SEO is, we understand how contemporary technology works, so when someone searches for it, we can do what we can to make sure they find the things that we want them to find, so then they can get to where they need to go. But that requires the people who are involved in doing this to say, look, does everybody know what SEO is? Does everybody know how to optimize stuff? Do we have a level of technological sophistication to make this stuff work? So that hopefully, because people are just searching in the search engine, you want to make sure they land on the thing that's going to get them stuff in the search engine.
Did you guys also talk about?
Which we noisy joke?
Because, look, the biggest failure of Mammoth Trails is that no one knows the web, no one knows it's their way. It's
So,
been,
that's a
I
good.
mean, seriously, it's,
What I'm thinking of is this, I think maybe two things, is one is an index of websites, and with categories, outings, whatever. And then following, which is much more difficult, I agree, as a calendar.
that's why you want
Like a
the
master
one
calendar.
website. They can have the aggregate, you can have all the other websites within that one.
Yeah, you just consume it.
Yes.
Maybe it's Mammoth, I mean, literally, I've shown almost like just as a public service, just put www.mammothtrails.org on a banner, on a paper on the front page, all summer,
Yeah.
until we just saturate the front.
Well, that's what I think Ted, your point is a really good one, that if we as a community create mammothtrails.org as a default comprehensive place to go, we point everybody to mammothtrails.org, that it starts to rise in SEO, and commit to populating it, and adding to the information as it needs to stay current.
It's just not the right name.
Yeah, we probably
But
should.
the
The right name, you need to roll it out.
Because you're coming down, I mean, if you look at the topic of reliable information and winter recreation, so I mean, if you kind of, I think we've gone a bit broader, but.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I-
No, because it's a good history, a couple of just questions too,
Just
so.
stretch it through the summer, just what do we find reliable?
So maybe we can just power it down and really talk about it, we're really just focusing on disseminating winter recreation information. Maybe we can kind of maybe manage to tackle that one for a little.
And I
Beta
think as
test
a
on
community,
it.
we need to commit to the fact that we want to share our winter recreation information to our public. And not just default to the mountain, because there's a lot of winter activities that the mountain
Doesn't cover.
doesn't cover.
Absolutely.
And that are winter recreation related, and that we want to, as a
Make sure the
community,
guest has a choice, as it were.
and that we all have that choice. Yeah, we all are
See,
aware.
here's the issue. Now, I can probably speak more freely now, but I mean, problem with the MLT, well, MLT site, because I know Betsy might get upset with this, but people are now so, they tie MLT so closely with the mountain that only the mountain publishes stuff on the calendar, right? And no one else wants to publish, they just view it as another place to find Mammoth Mountain skiing. And I think
So can we, I have two questions. Is it valuable or of value to create the second portal for everything else other than the mountain? Or do we work much closer with the mountain to integrate their information into the community information?
I think it's much easier to have a separate organization where you generously include their information within your stuff. But anytime you partner with the mountain, you might as well just use it around.
So mammothtrails.org?
So you need Switzerland.
I think what you can do is-
Correct.
Site, right, yeah.
Yes.
Well, but if you go,
Well, Mammoth Recreation, I mean, you have the name for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
so this can all be
Wouldn't
done.
that be
And this can all be done through, I mean, the town has contracts with all these bodies that you're talking about. What we need is, again, on paper, a strategic, figuring out who is going to be doing what. Get that together and then start saying, okay, this site is going to be doing this, and this site's going to be doing that. Get it written up of what they're supposed to be doing, and then implement it. And then I'm very interested, so now, the MLT, exactly, so MLT is not serving the purposes of the public investment that's supposed to be done.
Well, no, it serves, remember, it serves a different master for a different purpose. I'm just saying, like, that visit person who's answering the phone every day, should be Rich's employee answering the phone over there for this purpose.
We gotta figure this out, because I'm thinking, because I'm thinking as a council person, MLT is paid, we have money, they get money from us to provide services. If our scope of services isn't correct, if this thing is kind of happening without it being a conscious decision, we need to bring it back as part of a strategic framework of what we're doing to say, MLT, you're supposed to be doing this, this, and this.
Look, you asked John Erdy any day, so John, what is your job? John will say, my job is to get people to town. Once they get to town, I don't care, which we can debate what I think about that. I can tell you privately what I think about that. Sure. I mean, that's his job.
Meanwhile, John checking in, asking if there's a 2:30 meeting.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, that's where you are. He's gonna get you here, so then therefore, it's now it's someone else's job to pick up the ball.
Well, there's the analogy, book it and cook it, and I've heard you use that analogy, that somebody is responsible for getting them here. Now it's somebody's responsibility to take care of while they're here.
And John will come to the chamber. He'll say, well, once I've gotten to the chamber,
No. In other words, once they're here, the last thing we want to do is continue on. Oh, you're here, let me dig as hard as I can into your pocket. I think we should avoid that.
I'm gonna give you some great
Hey,
points.
how about, hey, you're here, let me show you all the ways you can have fun.
well, I think it's a great idea to look at Mammoth Lakes Recreation as a potential on the aggregated.
It's the best name and the best
For
potential.
recreation,
for doing
we
that.
keep coming back to the focus.
If we come back to the
Really wanted to
recreation,
say,
this.
yeah.
But anything we start doing with this stuff doesn't have. So if we're talking about winter recreation, that's great. That's good, but we have to be looking at these systems. Because they, you can't separate it.
Structure that, yeah, it encompasses everything,
Everything was summer, so it's okay, but you gotta start with, okay, so.
Start small, do
But
set.
then can MLR roll into the summer thing also?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it could work, but again, it goes back to getting this,
A lot
getting
of
it done on
recreation
paper.
information.
Outlining it on paper, being very clear, what are the data sources that they're gonna consume? If it's the Mammoth Trail site, if it's a community calendar, what are these things? How do we start it?
We did a ton of programs, right? So
The town, how do we start doing it on paper and outline it? So the last step you do is implement. You figure it all out, you cross it out, you throw the ink around, you make message on, you figure it out that way. Then everybody feels pretty confident, okay, this thing's gonna work. Fine. Then you implement, you invest in it.
Okay,
It's
we're
very exciting. That's a great function.
2:15, let's begin to talk about next steps. So based on what I've heard so far, the inventory website, the data collection,
Understand the sources.
understand the sources. When we say understand the sources, we're expecting to focus really is on, as Stewie just said, reliable recreation information for the broad and farming industry.
I know recreation can include the theater and
Correct.
scene.
Yes.
But it doesn't say,
Right.
people get recreation.
She's trying to use that as a.
Well, we define it that way.
Okay, our
Well,
community.
the community.
You don't have to.
Don't
You talk to Kendra or Juliana.
They're fine.
The arts is not recreation. Rich,
Oh, okay.
they'll the way
Well,
they
is
go
there
now.
some way that we
Yeah.
can incorporate?
Get a
Is
different
there some way we can incorporate?
Yes, and MLR has done that in the.
It's a field
It's a way of
But
recreation.
still, the word is still, but there's key tag words to integrate into that site that helps address that.
But the day one, when I'm looking for something, by the day of recreation, I'm doing it really not to look for a plane.
Pardon me?
I'm not typing.
No, you're
in
good.
recreation, I was-
No, but
As
if you're
John said, we're just
typing
trying to
in
find
place.
them, we're just trying to find one website,
Yeah.
whatever that name is. They might end up finding it anyway.
Well, and if you use the right words inside the website that captures the
Yeah,
search.
that's sophistication.
That captures the search. You can type in theater and Mammoth and MLR will pop up.
Well, we don't, I think we don't want to do.
You want to generate something brand new.
Don't want to- Yeah, we gotta make what we have work. I think that's the challenge that we're talking about. How do we work?
Did you also address to continue to wrap up, in addition to just websites, the actual utilization of the other social media channels that are available out there that in many cases are becoming more reliable sources and more far-reaching sources for that level of communication. So somebody's commanded the Facebook page, somebody's commanded Twitter, somebody's commanded Instagram, you know, all of that. That's
information,
exactly
it's
part,
part of this
that's
discussion.
what people are doing.
Yeah. It's another portal.
It is another
It's
portal.
data.
Yeah, and it's just how it's disseminated.
How it's disseminated, where the sources from, how many sources can you
It
get?
actually came up in the youth advisory committee, we talked about that too, and that group actually said, well, why isn't there just one social media page, why isn't there one Facebook page just for that? Pretty holistic type thing, but here's the kids telling you that, man,
Yes.
and they're all over the stuff all day, and you can get it.
It's loaded like this,
Yeah.
it's gonna go like this,
Yeah, so-
because people are overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Just get bombarded with so much noise, I mean, where do you?
And the trick is to do it, to bring it back to something that is absolutely simple.
That makes sense.
Newspaper's dead, oh, newspaper's right.
Yes. No, absolutely.
You have someone editing the first level of crap to give you something that you might actually use.
Absolutely.
I think we have to add to that little education exercise that you're talking about is an understanding of how those social media channels can be utilized best to, you know, create the, or get the impact that you're looking for, so to understand how Facebook and how people are using Facebook for information, how people are using Instagram and Twitter, you know, how people are using YouTube, so that there's, you can't just blindly say, oh, yeah, we'll just have a Facebook page and everything will go there. Because not everything goes through
Not
Facebook.
everybody, yeah.
It's strategy.
So exactly, so I
Colin
think that,
doesn't even have a Facebook page.
so we have to,
Track it, right?
whatever we call it, flow chart, it has to include an educational element about that, because they can be highly effective if we use them correctly and appropriately, and thinking about the far reach that we're trying to accomplish. But we have to understand.
And there's tools for social media too, Hootsuite and all those stuff.
Oh, yeah,
So you
exactly.
can aggregate that, so you can actually have one funnel,
Absolutely.
spits it out, I mean, so that's a way to kind of, but someone's got to collate it and then send it. Yeah,
So right now, this is first line of,
We don't have to know the answer to
I
that
don't think
question.
we can answer that question.
what we're saying, it should be,
They need to know enough to be a champion.
The choice is gonna be there, yeah.
That's your buddy.
And we didn't have. Your buddy.
Yeah, so reliable recreation information. So inventory websites, based on each website, who has what information out there, like that, and a little bit of a trial.
The other piece of that is you have, from that chart, you have to start looking at the reliability of the information from these things you just used. So like this point about, oh, you get this nice trails website, but there's no conditions up for it. Where's the gap?
Pretty cool.
Exactly. And start to really get a sense of, do you want to bring them into your thing if they're not even going to that data information?
That's part of the evaluation. That's the evaluation of the accuracy, whether it's a reliable.
What's it going to take to make?
Oh, yeah.
Problem is, you need to translate that to a beautiful visual and let it go. It's 5:30 right now.
Oh, I see.
Years ago.
You just got to
It's only
you just got to sign back that 12:30. That's incredible.
2 days.
Okay, what else, what are we missing?
I think the next step, and it's a council priority, is probably maybe a synergy summit type of a thing to whatever we've taken here and facilitate our work to keep it moving forward. We have to.
Remembering GS, yeah, we'll love to go, but get to that new ski, capital down, see where the waves are. Get on that new ski, throw your chest down.
Just doing a wide, just doing a relative wide. and sketch it out on paper to keep your keep this group, whatever you want to do, just keep this thing moving well. It tends to be very, just think of something, where's a place for whiteboard, where's an opportunity to handle this? Something like MLR is an aggravator. There's something to that. You gotta start looking at where these are without doing new stuff, without reinventing the wheel. Because we can't take what we've got right now. We've got all this stuff, it's not working. So we gotta figure out how to get the stuff we've got right now to work. Then identify some gaps if we have to be supposed to. If I know something like getting trail conditions out of the Forest Service, that's a huge gap. I don't know how, it is now, but that's just something that's got nothing to do with the website information. That's got the team, that's got the Forest Service. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and so we just gotta identify where those gaps are, so that's gotta be over there. And I think looking at something consistent like FLT, with their side, we have to change their scope. We have to do something with their contract that says, look, you've sketched this whole thing out here to play this role, well, then it's gotta be very talented. It's gotta say, look, I can play this piece of it, how are you doing this? This is this whole thing about aligning the NGOs with the town, and all this other kind of stuff. We gotta have this inventory.
Makes sense.
You guys gotta do this, you guys gotta do this, and then we'll go together.
On that inventory, we also have the usual suspects, make sure that we've got the places like ESAC and Warren County Social Rescue, and even Local County itself as places to look for either linking or information or being a part of it. Because thinking about, again, information that people are looking for winter recreation experiences, those are some sources that people may not be aware of, people may not know how to use them, but we, I think as a community, we want to start to say, we have information available to help your experience be a better one, help you be safe out there in these winter conditions. And so I think we have to go beyond just, what we think is the usual.
Yeah, so I would be, honestly, I would be riding that.
What else, guys?
Identifying what websites are actually working, that is right, is important, because those are probably the aggregates that we want to focus on. And as John was saying, there's a lot of noise and riffraff on the internet that's inevitable, but, those things, can be ignored, and it could even present itself that, if there is a good aggregate calendar, then maybe somebody's previous work is unnecessary, so you don't have to have a complete calendar, they don't have to do all that work. They can link directly to whatever. Yeah,
So it's
link
efficient.
directly to that, what's working, and then that helps with consistency.
I don't think so.
Well, that is true. We try to think.
Same thing, just be.
Emergency information all the time is a sub-piece of this, like, where people can go to know that the road has been closed, that the CHP has closed it. Just add to the fact that if you set up a system like this, it too can become a source of this emergency type information that sometimes is difficult to find.
If you're going to the backcountry drive, beware there's a fire out back.
Well, exactly.
Stuff like that.
And CHP closed 3 nights ago, and how did anybody find out about that? Just so that, I think there's a culture around here. Winter conditions have impacts. And we as a community, and if you're visiting here, you've got to know, pay attention, and where to go to find what's happening out there, so that you're not
Find out about the closure when you pull up to the car.
I know, I'm telling you.
The guy wants to put his hands on your
Listen, I am forever marred by the winter 2006 January storm that we had. People were sitting out there, sitting in their cars out there, trying to get out and car out to take 3 hours closed. They had nowhere to go. They couldn't go back to the hotel rooms. They couldn't live in Cuba. That's why we created this position. Because nobody knew what the heck was going on. Nobody had any on nobody had any idea.
A little sweat on my god.
So with that, It's 2:25. I appreciate your time and efforts today. I will craft up my notes. Our next step on this is we'll revisit committee stuff.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've got one kind of cleanup meeting on Monday to see what the hell's going on. So in a couple of weeks, after this back, presentation or notes, we want to get something on the website so you can look at it.
Okay. Good? Good to go, everybody? Thanks for your time today. I appreciate you taking the time on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So,